What is up, everybody? It's me. It's Dean. And I'm back on the JFS in the middle of nowhere. But this is actually very important middle of nowhere, isn't it? This is likely going to be the site of the next Jiffy Kart track. This is actually just a short flight away from the Cherry Blossom biome over that way. And this could be the perfect location for a baby park-esque kart track. Yeah, it's not quite perfectly circular, but I can definitely see this part just being the track. There is also a little bit extra over here, so if I wanted to add a little bit something else, you could do like a little hairpin turn back that way. Excuse me. But, yeah. I'm thinking this will be the place for the next track. Very, very simple, straightforward. And could be fun. So yeah. I think we're going to gather some materials for this. So let's go do that. It's been a month, so I think we are safe to do a life update video. Here's the site of the old J-Sandal Kart track. I may come back to this area and see if I can put something new together. Because I kind of liked how it worked its way down the mountain. Unfortunately, getting it back up the mountain was the tricky part. So, if I can figure out how to fix that part, then we should be fine. Oh, interesting. Anybody find this? No. What? This has been here all along. I figured if it was gonna be that close to Red Star's base, we would have seen. Yeah, completely unclaimed. Well, I'll take these. Hello. I'll take this. You know what? Well, I won't be around in time to see the end of the transformation, so you'll probably be stuck mid-transformation for quite a while, so you can stay like that. I'm not waiting 5 minutes for the whole thing to finish. But yeah, let's let's do a little life update stuff. There's really only one notable thing to talk about. That's that I have a new job. I am no longer cleaning rental cars. I am now working for good old Amazon. Gonna be a delivery driver. And yeah, in spite of all of the horror stories that you hear about people working for Amazon, man, I'm not prepared for any type of resource gathering, I just realized. My inventory is chock full. So maybe we'll do a bit of landscaping over there instead. But yeah, I left my last job right around the middle of the month. I think on the 13th it was. I did a little trip out to North Dakota, which was nice. I was supposed to go to Texas to see a couple friends of mine, but they had to back out last minute. And by last minute, I mean like the week before. So, but I was honestly kind of not expecting it per se, but definitely not surprised that it happened. We've tried to arrange hanging out once before, and didn't work out either. So, and I always prepare for, you know, backup plans and such. Is that homework always there? I may need to fix that. I don't know why that's there. I think there used to be a reason, and I don't... Oh, right, because, sheep kept dying. Yeah, why is this here? I can actually fix that right now. So... I'm gonna put, this book in here. Okay, let's offload some stuff. But yeah, after my little vacation in North Dakota, which was pretty nice, not much to talk about there. I drove out to western North Dakota, stayed the night, and then drove back. Pretty nice landscape out there. It's a lot more interesting than what people say. Apparently, those who explore the 50 states do North Dakota last because there's apparently not as much going on, supposedly. And I guess it all depends on how you look at it. Because I went out there and I thought the landscape was pretty interesting. I guess if you're going for the purpose of... if you're out there for the purpose of, like, seeing people and doing people-y things, then sure, there's not much going on in terms of people-y things. But outside of that, like, if you're looking for interesting landscape, again, it might depend on what exactly you're looking for. Do you want grand mountains? You're probably not going to find them in North Dakota. It's mostly flat, but not completely. The part of the state, you know, the western part of the state was actually a bit canyon-y. Like, you know, had that upper Midwest kind of dryness, not quite desert level stuff going on. Some cliffs and canyons. Some pretty nice views, to be honest. And then when you get through to the middle of the state, I'm trying to remember what I wanted to do here. Get another bed. I'm going to keep that, actually. Do I have dirt? No. Do I have sand? Yeah. I'll take some sand. Okay. But yeah, the western part of the state's pretty dry, but it does have some interesting cliffs and hills and, you know, non-flat terrain, basically. So if you like your terrain to not be flat, then North Dakota is actually pretty decent at doing that. Some pretty interesting views. And then you get to the middle of the state, and you cut through this swath of like thousands upon thousands of little ponds just dotting the landscape, which is from the glacial melts after the last ice age. So what's left behind are a bunch of these little ponds. They're all pretty small, most of them. Some of them get into like lake territory, but there's like literally thousands of them, all like right next to each other and everything. And that's pretty neat. So it's not all boring. You just gotta know what to look for. and I think most people are more concerned about, like, when they visit other states, they want to do, like, restaurants and nightlife and cuisine and touristy destinations and stuff. And sure, that's all well and good, and if you're looking for that, North Dakota's not exactly the place to go for that, and that's fair. But if you think outside the box a little bit and, you know, expand your horizons a little, then you can actually find some pretty interesting stuff out there. You know, like Iowa, people think of Iowa as just being all cornfields, but if you know where to go, we actually have some hilly, like foothill level landscapes. We have a few waterfalls out there. It's pretty interesting terrain, as you might not expect. It's just all about knowing where to go and where to find it, right? So I think I might want to make a little hut here at some point. Yeah, this is probably going to be where the boat hut is. And I kind of like the idea of this being mostly a circle. Maybe I just fill in all of the water around this island with ice. But we can kind of design the track to come around this way. And in which you would go around here and do get a little hairpin turn going. Yeah, just to add a little bit of variety. But you could also, like, close this part off and turn it into an actual baby park situation. I'm not going to tear all this down, I'm just going to flatten it to about here. Maybe fix some of the stone part. Because I want to properly be able to see what I'm looking at here. But yeah, so after doing that trip, I came back, I went back to work. I had 2 4-day work weeks on either end of the vacation, because I was going to use that vacation time for the trip down to Texas to see my friends, but like I said, that didn't happen. So I did a shorter trip with the other 2 days just being a couch potato at home, basically. Yeah, when I got back, 4-day work week, which both Tuesdays on those 2 4-day work weeks, one before, one after the vacation. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'll light it up here. And I'll do that, just to make it symmetrical. Maybe we'll shave this bit. Like that. Just to make it wide enough. And I will trim this part as well. Again, make it a wider entrance. An interesting area. But yeah, both Tuesdays on either side of the vacation were slow enough that I went home early, a couple hours early. And then the Friday that became my last day of work, the power went out about a couple hours short of a full shift. So the power went out in the entire building, which meant we could not use the vacuums or the fuel pumps or the car wash. So the entire operations came to a standstill, and our supervisor basically just said anybody who's not on the night shift can go home. Since I work days, I went home. So, and I never went back. That weekend, I started applying to a bunch of places. I already had Amazon in mind. I was doing research on where I wanted to work elsewhere. And, I was basically choosing one of the delivery companies between Amazon, the Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS. I had even found a YouTube channel of somebody who works for Amazon somewhere else in the country, and they're talking about all the pros and cons and things they like and dislike, and kind of take you through the day of an Amazon worker, a delivery driver. And I saw enough of it that convinced me that I could probably handle it for a year. I know a lot of people talk about the horror stories of working for Amazon in any capacity. And I was very much aware of that, but I wanted to see if there was like any positives, because people do work there for, you know, a decent amount of time. There are people who don't just work a few shifts and then leave. You know, there's got to be something to enjoy, even if it's just the pay. And the channel that I found was probably the most realistic about everything. Like, talking about the things I liked, things I didn't like. Talked about the whole process and such. It took you along the ride, so along for the ride, I think is the correct phrase. So yeah, I was convinced enough to give it a go. I applied to probably 5 different Amazon dispatchers. Basically, Amazon itself does not do the deliveries. They do third parties. Just like how your McDonald's would do like an independent franchise that's not run by McDonald's itself. And apparently multiple DSPs is what they're called, work out of the same locations, same few locations. So I applied to probably like 5 or 6 of them, and I got 3 interviews from that. I also heard back from FedEx and the Postal Service. UPS I tried to apply to, but their application process is really strict. Turns out I got a couple speeding tickets over the summer, and as soon as I put that down in my application with UPS, they're like, yeah, no thanks. Like I clicked next, and they're like, yeah, we're going to we're not going to proceed with the application from here. I was like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, I had 3 interviews. One was in person, one was on the phone, one was a Google Meets interview, kind of like a Zoom call. And they were all for the 3 main locations around Iowa, around Des Moines. So, the in-person interview, I kind of botched. I didn't hear back from them. I don't know if it was because of the background check they did and found out I had 2 tickets, or if I said a wrong thing. But they were also only looking for 5 people for their location. So like the very next day, they were like, yeah, we're not gonna take you. So it's like, oh, okay. But same day they denied my application was when I heard back from the other two places that wanted an interview. And the one I did the phone interview with is the one I'm currently working for, so, which is good. They were the number 2 option for me, second to the guys that denied me, so. They have the latest start time, which is good. It means I don't have to wake up too early coming to work. Matter of fact, I can wake up the same time I do for my rental car detailing job that I left. I didn't no longer do. Yeah, I can wake up at the same time for that. So that's pretty good. And they also had some other details that were a little different from the other places. The guys that did the Google Meet stuff, they had, I think they had the earliest clock-in time of the 3, and they have a thing called, there's a process called a rescue, which is basically if a delivery driver is kind of having a tough time and is getting through things kind of slowly, they'll send out another delivery driver who's already done with their work to basically take some of the workload. And each DSP has different policies on handling that. The one that I'm working for, I believe you're not required to do the rescue, but if you do, you get an extra 75 cents per package that you take from the guy that you're rescuing. Whereas with the Zoom call place, they said it was required, and there was no bonus. So it was required to do a rescue, and there was no bonus. I think that's because, take a drink here. I think that's because that location works in Des Moines itself, so they kind of need you to shoulder some of the other employees' workloads because you're in the metro area, and there's a lot of packages to deliver in this area, I assume. So it's understandable, but yeah, didn't want to be forced to do that, especially without like compensation, because 75 cents per package doesn't sound like much on paper, and maybe it doesn't add up to much in the end, especially if you don't do it often, but you know, a boost is a boost, and it does create more of an incentive to do a rescue if you're ever offered one. So, and the only catch is that because I'm new, I am required to do my first rescue. So if they have someone that needs to be rescued and they offer it to me, I am required to take it because I am new and I need to know how the process works. So, but yeah, I completed training. I did my ride along yesterday, and that was pretty good. And I officially start my work week on Sunday, so this will probably be out by then. And it's supposed to be a 4-day work week, 4 10-hour days. However, I have already taken on an extra day just for this coming week. Turns out the time that I have started working is right on time for the second Amazon Prime Day, which I think is today. So Amazon Prime Days are when Amazon puts a bunch of stuff on sale. And when it goes on sale, that means people are going to buy a bunch of stuff. And so the workload gets a lot busier for the rest of the week. And, yeah. I sure did pick a good time to start working for this place. It's a secondary Prime Day thing. The main one is in July, so this one shouldn't be as busy. But I decided to take up the job, the extra day this week, because it took me a couple weeks to... That's Dakota. What's this one? Oh, I don't even know. It's a mystery map. Okay, that one's gonna be interesting. I gotta put this one up somewhere. And this is a buried treasure map that's probably claimed already. I lost my train of thought because... Well, I'm taking the extra day. Oh yeah, because I'm behind on some rent and bills and stuff. Because the hiring process took a bit of time. It was not as smooth as I was hoping. That was my mistake. That one. Dakota here. But yeah, I gotta do that stuff better. I was kind of hoping for a smooth transition. I wasn't aware of how long the process would take in terms of the background checks and onboarding and stuff. Because, other jobs, you can... Like, when I got hired for Red Robin, so many years ago, I got a call on, I think it was Friday. I called them back Saturday. They had me call back on Sunday. I did my interview Monday, did my training Tuesday, and my first official shift was Wednesday. Like, in the span of 5 days, I was, working. Whereas, for this job, the first place I applied to, the one that rejected me, like, they called me, like, I started applying, like, that weekend, and I did my interview with them that Monday. So that one went quickly, but then the phone interview for the one I'm currently working at was that Wednesday, and then I'm just looking at the calendar. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did the phone interview for Wednesday, and they told me that if the background check gets done, normally they get done in like a day or two, that's what they said, and assuming that it did, I could get into training the following Tuesday, which would have been the 24th, but because I didn't get my background check done until the 23rd, which was the Monday, and so they said, you're going to have to do training next Tuesday, which is October 1st, so... what could have been a simple process, simple straightforward process in which I would have would have been able to start working like at least a week ago, because of how the whole thing worked. I left my last job on the 13th of September and spent 1, 2, 3 weeks until I could start working tomorrow, basically. So 3 weeks. So I had one paycheck since I left that job, and that put me behind on some bills, and I was just barely able to scrape up enough money for rent, so that's good. That was the most important thing. But I am behind on a couple other bills, so this first week, luckily training was paid, so my first paycheck will hit by the 11th, and that will be 3 8-hour shifts. I was told that those training hours are guaranteed 8-hour shifts, regardless of how long they were actually there. So that's good. And yeah, that's why I took the extra day, because basically I'll have some overtime because of that. And, oh yeah, I wanted a bow. Yeah, I would get some overtime from that, and that would put me ahead of schedule, so. I don't have a mending bow. This is infinity. So, flame punch. None of these have unbreaking either. Crazy. Or I could just lava them. I do need to fill in that hole. I got stone for it. Alright, let's violently murder these iron golems. Another one. Do not. Are you... You're gonna be number 3. I'm gonna put you down there. Yeah, I gotta figure out what's going on with this, because they're apparently spawning outside of the area here. So maybe I just gotta turn all of this into path block or something. Or he's spawning maybe on top of some of these things or something like that. I don't know. But all I do know is that some of these guys are alive when they shouldn't be. Well, that'll do for this video. Just wanted to give an update. So yeah, I'm going to do that Baby Park-esque track next, and then I want to find one more location to do a track at, because I kind of want to set up a Grand Prix at some point, so keep an eye out for that stuff. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching, and I shall see you all in the next one.